Awesome. All right. We're just recording a picture of my head's the side of my head. All right. Hello, everybody. I am Peter Dressler with Hawaii Center for AI. I am based on Oahu. Hawaii Center for AI is headquartered in downtown Honolulu in the building Entrepreneurs Sandbox. I don't know anyone's familiar, but in town in Honolulu, there's a pretty nice little business incubator center building, and we are headquartered there. I actually live in Ewa Beach. I have a nice hour commute there and back every day, which is a bummer. Actually, in the summer, it's 40 minutes. And so the reason I bring up Ewa Beach is Hawaii Center for AI is a nonprofit. We're dedicated to the beneficial use of AI for all of Hawaii. And when we say all of Hawaii, I like to think in like concentric rings out from town. So there's actually a lot of people outside of town, even on Oahu, over in West Oahu, where I live. And so we like to do workshops all around Oahu, but now we're working on branching out to workshops here. Just came back from Maui earlier this month, where we're setting up a couple of things, and we need to get to the Big Island and eventually Molokai at some point. So again, the idea is beneficial use of AI for all Hawaii. There was a really cool business workshop about AI today in town in Honolulu. But frankly, I'm kind of excited to be here today on Hawaii because from our perspective as a nonprofit, if people are left out from artificial intelligence, if people are in a situation where they're not getting information or access or just the chance to make up their own minds about what to think about AI, then the whole thing fails. Like we can't just have more inequality and more inequity because of AI, but we have an opportunity to make a choice not to have that. So that is the idea of the center. I want to thank Hōʻike for having us today, and Allegra in particular for picking up the phone and saying, sure, what the heck, let's do it. Like seriously, it was very much me calling around saying, I don't know anyone on Kauai, and Allegra just jumped in and said, hey, I have a thing here, and this is great. So I'm really grateful for that. Just talking briefly about what sorry. I have one announcement. I'm sorry, I have a business announcement or a commercial. I want to mention we have a website, hawaiiai.org, and the reason that's relevant to you, one, because we're cool, but two, we're about to announce a Hawaii Center for AI business incubator for AI. It is a funded incubator. It's a little bit different from traditional business incubators in that we'll be looking for existing small businesses and entrepreneurs that are looking to use AI to build new innovations that will positively impact Hawaii's economy. Difference from a traditional business incubator, if you think about like Techstars in the Bay Area or whatever, like, you know, these high-powered incubators, we're not necessarily focused on just, you know, rocket ship to the moon, apps that are going to be on 1 billion phones next year. That's not actually the business change that we think AI can drive in Hawaii in particular. We think AI can really generate just 10% improvements across the board to existing businesses through innovations. And so we want to help promote those innovations and business innovations, and that's what the incubator is about. Starts in our first cohort starts in September. Applications will start later this month. If you are interested, or importantly, if you know someone who would be interested, please just take a look at the website or let them know. And I promise within a couple of weeks, they could email me tomorrow. But if there's something, there definitely will be something on the website in a couple of weeks. Yes. Email is peter@hawaiiai.org. And, you know, you can just ask me after, and I'll definitely get you connected. All right, enough about that, but that's a really important thing. I don't want it to be 15 companies from Honolulu. So that's half the reason why we're here today. All right. Okay, so about today's conversation, how much time have I just burned? So we're going to I'm going to do a quick introduction to AI using something called ChatGPT. Many of you will be aware of ChatGPT. It's the most popular AI in the world. I'm going to do that for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to have some artists call in to our Zoom, I hope. And I believe they will, at least some of them. And they're coming from all around the world. They're really excited about this event. Or I think when we were talking to people about this event, people love the idea of community television everywhere on Earth. That's like the most original and real feeling content on Earth right now. So hopefully the artists will call in. We'll do my thing for 10 minutes. The artists will call in and they'll talk about what they're using art or AI to generate art, how they're using AI to generate art now. And the idea is that'll just hopefully be a nice inspiration in terms of what can be done. We realize that AI and art are a contentious subject, and we don't want to minimize that contention, but we also realize that there are a lot of creators around the world doing totally new stuff with AI. All right, so that is my preamble. Before I get started, how many people in the room have ever heard of artificial intelligence? All right, well, you came here, so it's at least once. So how many people in the room have used ChatGPT, the world's most popular AI tool? Okay, excellent. So many people, not all of you, and that's totally fine. How many people used ChatGPT earlier this week? All right, a lot, but not everybody. And then how many people use ChatGPT today? All right. All right. So the reason I'm kind of going on and on about that is we often have these workshops where a few people use it every day, and that's fine. We have people who have never ever touched it, and that's also okay. I want to get all of you to the same place. So for some of you, this will be review. For others, this will be, I guess, first time. So I'm going to use ChatGPT, a new version of it, and we're just going to call it the new version. So ChatGPT is by a company called OpenAI. It is not the only AI application in the world, but it is the most popular. There are competitors. Google has a competitor called Gemini. The company that was formerly known as Facebook, now called Meta, sorry, sore subject here on the line, and I get that. They have an AI called Meta.ai. I got it, but yeah, he's got an AI. Microsoft offers a product called Copilot. It's actually built on ChatGPT, but it's called Copilot. And there are other tools. The point is there's more than just ChatGPT. However, ChatGPT is the world's most advanced, what is called a chatbot, or the most advanced AI tool. So I'm going to interface with ChatGPT. This was not possible in London. I am going to do something a little bit unusual and silly to get started. And I'm going to take a picture of this. So does everyone see what's on the screen here? Hopefully this works. Frequently does work. So I'm going to hit chat. So I've taken a picture on my ChatGPT app on my phone. And it is uploading. And I'm going to talk to it. Hi, ChatGPT. Can you please explain to me what you're seeing in this image?
I see a dog lying down on a wooden floor. The dog appears to be a light colored or white breed, possibly a Labrador retriever or golden retriever, given its size and coat. The dog is stretched out with its back legs behind it, and it looks quite relaxed. There are also wooden chairs visible to the right side of the image. The setting looks like an indoor space, perhaps a kitchen or dining area.
Okay, so that was really descriptive. ChatGPT, could you take a guess as to what that dog's name is?
Yes, I'd say that dog's name is Aspen. Am I right?
That's right. Do you remember what Aspen likes to do?
Yes, Aspen enjoys playing with spots. She's been more tired lately too.
All right, so that's a good job. So the way that all happens, this is on the ChatGPT app on my phone. You can get it. It is free. You can't use it. You have to pay to use it in an unlimited or semi-unlimited fashion, but it is an app that goes on your phone. Not the only AI available, but it is the most advanced in terms of what we just did. ChatGPT about 14 days ago on my phone saw a picture of my dog named Aspen, and she just happened to be holding a sock in her mouth. So ChatGPT now knows that I have a dog named Aspen, and she likes socks, and she was acting a little tired lately. So how is all of this happening? Like, how is this happening, and why is this different? You know, we've had Siri for a while now. We've had Alexa and that kind of thing. What is different between this and, you know, we've had voice activated or textual computer programs in the past. The difference is that what is being output is based on ChatGPT having this enormous index of knowledge from all over planet Earth, and being able to layer in knowledge about its user, and in this case, me, and the information that I've fed into it. Basically connecting that into one big graph that is squeezing out this text. So if we looked at my phone right now, we would see that there is text basically that is being spoken aloud right there. But no one has ever programmed that text. I'm just letting people into the Zoom. Hi, guys. No one has ever programmed in that text. Hey, guys, we're just getting started. So, hey, Swallja, just want to let you know that we're going to switch over to you in about 5 minutes. Hi, Filipa.
Hello.
Hi, guys. I'm going to move you guys over to the right screen. Oh, and they can't see you guys. This is a bummer.
Well, there's a webcam up there if you just plug it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So guys on the Zoom, I just want to let you know we're plugging in a camera, but we just talked about ChatGPT and saw ChatGPT for some people for the first time. And we're talking about how prompting ChatGPT is basically like squeezing a sentence or whatever you're speaking through this giant graph of information. Again, no one programmed it. No, or like there were programmers involved, but no one programmed the answer that, hey, you're looking at my dog. What ChatGPT has and what these other AIs that we're going to look at in a minute have are these giant graphs of knowledge from all over planet Earth. And those graphs of knowledge, again, what I'm speaking into it is being turned into an information graph of its own, and just being, it really is kind of like it's being shoved into that giant informational structure, and out comes knowledge, and out comes the output. Yes.
I put this in the words, and my words have been, it's a distillation of all the data that humans have put on the internet.
Sure. I think that's pretty analogous with the analogy that I just used, but I think it's difficult to communicate in layperson's terms. I frankly, no one totally understands, by the way, how these models work, believe it or not. Like, no one totally has a handle on how AIs work. They have a pretty good idea, but this is similar to no one knows exactly how human brains work, right? We can predict how human brains will work, and people act sort of predictably from time to time. But the actual magic that's happening is a new phenomenon. It didn't exist with Siri. It didn't exist with Alexa. Holy cow! Wow, that's impressive. All right, so the reason I wanted to talk about what's going on with and hello guys on the Zoom. So the reason I wanted to talk about what's going on with ChatGPT, oh, this is awesome. I never thought this would work.
You can change green screen.
Time to Star Wars it. Hey, man, nice. All right, so the reason it's important that this is what's going on with ChatGPT or Gemini, Google's AI, or Meta, our neighbor Mars AI. Like everything that's happening with ChatGPT, it's kind of the same thing that we're about to see with the artists. They're going to show us some work in other AI tools, but those AI tools work with inputs and output, not words, but other audiovisual tools. So, Filipa, I'm going to introduce you. Are you ready? Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
And
Good morning. Well, good morning for me.
good morning. So I'm just going to intro you real quick. So Filipa is a creative producer based in Spain, or she's calling in from Spain right now. And she has been working in advertising and animation for the last 10 years. Now she's adopting and really enjoying AI, and she actually does some really, really cool work. It's online at a site called kinomotomag.com. And I will be sure to make sure that everyone, I'll be sure to make sure. I hope we recorded that one. So I'll be sure that everyone gets links to everything at the end. We'll make sure that that happens. All right, go ahead, Filipa.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me see if this is working. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, see it.
Awesome. Yep.
Is it working, right?
Yep. It sure is.
Oh, okay, cool. So as Peter was saying, I'm going to talk about Midjourney. Midjourney is an AI-based art creation tool that generates images with textual descriptions known as prompts. At the moment, there are several AI tools like this one. I put it here, the famous ones or the ones that people are using more. Like this one, the DALL-E, that is from ChatGPT, and the Stable Diffusion. They are very similar on the way that we work with them, and each one of them has obviously a different user experience, and most of them they are used like for different stuff, but they are basically used to generate images. So how does this works? For example, for Midjourney, we have to log into Discord, and once inside Discord, we will have several options. At the moment, after creating 100 images, I think, we start to be able to use it online, so we can generate the images online on our browser instead of having to use Discord. Personally, I prefer Discord because then you can organize everything by channels. You can add the bot from Midjourney to your own server. But at the beginning, I will advise to use Discord so we can see what other newbies are doing, how are they like creating images and etc. And that is very helpful to someone that is starting to see how other people are creating or using the prompts. So basically, there are two types of prompts that we can use. The basic ones, as you can see here, can be as a single word, phrase, or the emoji. And then we have the advanced ones that this is where like things can get really cool. In here, we can include image URLs, multiple text phrases, and one or more parameters. I'm not going to explain all of this because this is too long. But on the guidelines of Midjourney, is it possible like to read all of these things? It's very easy to understand. I will just advise to use, especially at the beginning, the parameters, because then we can have like a better quality on images instead of like having a basic image. If we use, for example, film looks or camera lenses, the image will get out totally different if we don't use them. This is an example on how to write a prompt. So basically, this is how it looks inside Discord. So we have to tell the bot that we want to imagine. So first we should like put the slash imagine, and then we write the prompt. Every time we want to add other things, like the parameters or image URLs, we always have first to write the prompt, and then we will add the other things. But first we'll have to tell the bot what we want to create, and then we can add the parameters or whatever. This is usually the final result. So the bot takes like around 30 seconds, depending on the amount of the information that we are giving to it, and also the amount of time that we have on our subscription. But if we have a good one, this is very, very fast to produce. Usually we will have 4 different images. This is very interesting because we can see, when we see this all blurred, this is how Midjourney thinks. So basically this starts like a noise image, like kind of black and white. And then you can see the image like transforming and starting like to show what we are asking. And there is an option that we can ask to, for example, if we want like the image to be blurred, to stop in the middle and don't produce it until it's 100% like this one. In here, we have these options. This is also very cool because this is the 4 images. So we can ask the bot or to do a variation. If we, for example, we like the 3rd one, but we want him like to work it a bit more and to do some more variations, we can go here and select this V3 and ask him to adapt the prompt or change the color of the flowers, for example, or the sky, or anything that we don't want. So we will just work on that image. These ones in here, the use, are just like for us to be able to select the image that we like and to be able to do download faster. These are some examples that I was working on yesterday. These are some kind of images that we are able to create with Midjourney. The prompt that the prompt that I used was very specific because I was trying to do something about that TV show Black Mirror. So in here, as you can see, this came on the same prompt. So the information I was giving was able to give the bot the creation to do two very different things. I like this both, so I will be working on these ones later today because I think I can still explore more. And in here, I'm sharing some examples of AI artists that I follow on Instagram. I love the way that they are very creative, first of all, and the way that they do very different things. These are just some examples, but if you want to check them more, I left the name in here. This one the same, but in this case, this person has the same style all the time. This is also a very cool thing that you can do with Midjourney, that is to keep your style and reproduce a lot of images with the same style. So as soon as you create your own style, this is very good if you just want like to be an AI artist or to sell your art or to work for a company that you have a specific topic or product that you have to follow some lines. This is also a thing you can do on Midjourney. And basically that's it. Thanks for listening to me. I don't know if anybody has any questions. And I'm leaving here my website if you want to check it out later.
Filipa, so I want to let you know that we are going to do a workshop with Midjourney prompting here in a minute. So thank you for that. That's really informative. There's a lot of body horror going on with some of these images, so that's kind of but actually art comes in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Does anyone in the crowd have questions? I know that some of you have never seen Midjourney, so does anyone have questions? All right, so we're gonna demo it in a little bit, but thank you, that is super helpful. And I think we have next up Van, and Van is going to be demonstrating some music. Is that right? Wait, I have to intro you. I have to introduce you. So Van Hill is actually on Oahu. He's a Navy veteran with a professional background in SATCOM, telecom, and project management. But he's also been a musician for over 30 years, bass, trumpet, and guitar. He loves tech and exciting new innovations. And when he's not playing around with AI, he's usually at home, staring at trust trading stocks or hanging out with his kids. I was under the impression that you were constantly working as a volunteer for the organization Van. So
yeah, that too.
go ahead and take it away. And so Van is going to, we just talked about art, so visual art that you can generate with AI. Again, we saw prompting going into art instead of text coming out. But now, Van is going to show us prompting going into music. Basically, the output's going to be music. And hopefully my speaker works. Go for it, Van.
All right, so I'm actually going to share my screen as well here. I think it's this one here. Can you see that?
We can.
All right, perfect. So I was gonna do a demo and then I didn't want to get hung up on it. So I'm actually doing a quick little presentation, and then we've got I created a song for this event just to kind of show you what it can do. So quick introduction to AI music generators, right? So brief history of AI music generation. You know, what we have now is not the beginning of this. This has actually been, people have been trying to do this for a long time. So in 1957, the Iliac Suite was created, and this was a composition that was created by Lejarn Hillard and Leonard Isaacson. I'm sure that was wrong, but they actually took about a year to create this composition, and you know, it was on the Iliac One computer, which is, you know, super massive computer, 2,800 tubes, 10 foot by 8 foot. That's actually it in the top there, if you can see that. But I wanted to play a little bit of this composition. Again, it's not the music that it created, but the musical work, right? So the violins are the string quartet actually playing this. Did you want to try you want me to try to get the audio out to see if it works well, or are you Perry?
I think it'll work. Just try pressing
Okay.
play. I think it might work.
All right, so
Fingers crossed. Are we supposed to hear something?
you don't hear anything?
Yeah, just share the audio too on screen share.
Yeah, we don't hear it.
Yeah, just stop screen share and you turn it back on. There'll be a little button down in the corner, a little tick box that says share audio. Share computer audio or something like that.
Okay, so stop screen share. Go back to screen share. Share sound. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're
We worked with him
oh my gosh.
Okay,
on
that's
Zoom.
alarming.
Without a.
Hopefully not. Okay.
Give it a shot.
You hear that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was it, right? So the computer actually produced that, like composed that sound. So it's actually not too bad, really, but it didn't actually make the music, right? Those are people playing that music. Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, it's not going through my headphones anymore, so I'll take that off. So then we move forward to the awesome uses of MIDI. The guitar there, that's me back in the 80s. And you know, we were actually
Really?
that's not me, no. But so we had the introduction of MIDI, which allowed us to start actually, you know, with personal computers came out, synthesizers, sampling, C sound suites to be able to actually take music and compose it on a computer, right? Throughout the 80s and 90s. And you know, there's all sorts of, you know, you had everything from, you know, I don't know, name your band from that genre. Even Frank Zappa, right, was kind of crazy with some of that stuff as well back in the day. We move forward to now, and pretty much most music seems to be electronic, EDM, IDM, different types of electronic music, all produced digitally, right? So this has been, you know, evolving for a while, and what we have now is the ability to basically single prompt what the sound that you want and have it just spit it out, right? Because we've got so much so many files, so much data of this music that we can train. So how do these generators work, right? So same as a lot of these other generation LLM stuff like that, collects the data, and then it kind of ear tags, you know, this is a chorus, this is drums, this is whatever within the data. So when it's actually training, using LSTMs, transformers, different stuff like that, it can, you know, organize it well. Then it generates the music when you prompt it, right? You want country song about my dog dying, you know, whatever it's going to be. And then it looks through what it's been trained on, spits that out, post-processes it. It actually takes the music and you know, runs it through to make it sound better. Some of these programs are way better than others at doing this. And then of course it just outputs the music itself. So some of the examples that I want to bring up, and there's a lot, are Udio, Avia, and Suno. So Udio is one that I'm mostly familiar with, and it's got a really good sound, and you'll see this here shortly. Udio is super easy to use, I guess. In prompting it, they are it's not very old, actually. It's 2-3 months maybe it's been out, excuse me, but a lot of functionality, and they're constantly releasing and trying to update. Avia has been out for a little while, but it gives you a little bit more control. They have a lot of examples that you can kind of just use. Say, I want drum and bass song, right? And it'll just spit it out, and then you can actually manipulate the different sounds, right? You can manipulate the drums or the pads or whatever. So you get a little more control with something like that. And then Suno is a lot like Udio, not quite as good, but those are just 3 quick examples I wanted to throw out there. Use cases for this: music production. You know, if you want to make your own music, like, you know, I've got an entire SoundCloud account of my weird music that I'm putting out there. Music education, you can use this for school to create all this, you know, kind of music to help, you know, help you in your lesson plans or whatever. Music therapy, and then of course entertainment, if you want to do something like for social media and stuff like that. So the limitations of AI music, right? Emotional depth, right? You're not going to get super heartfelt soul singing at this point, to a large degree with the audio, but you can get really good vocals. I mean, honestly, some of them are pretty shocking. Creativity limitations, right? Kind of has boundaries as to how creative it can be, though I'm constantly surprised with the creativity. It's a great sounding board as a musician, right? If you want to kind of get some ideas that potentially you could produce on your own, it works really well for that as well. And then ethical considerations, because this is trained on such a large data set. If you say take a band, I don't know, 311, and say I want 311, it won't reproduce that sound specifically. Matter of fact, it won't even let you put the name in there, a lot of these, but it can get really close, and in a finite amount of combinations of music, there's a potential that it will spit out something that has been produced before, right, or is copyrighted. So there's some considerations there as well. So key takeaways, they're transformative. This is going to be great for the future, super easy for people to use, give you a lot of freedom, because it is, you know, you own the rights to the music that you create. Especially like most of these, they want like recognition. So you say made with Udio or Suno, but a lot of them, if you pay, you don't even have to credit the companies. So you have full rights to do whatever you want with it. Collaborative approach, being able to use this with actual humans, or again, using it as a sounding board. And then ongoing advancements. I think the biggest thing is the copyright issues in that sense. So kind of rushing through this, I don't want to take too long, but this is a song. So this is a Hōʻike song. So Lopako is another, it's like a demo account that I've created. So a lot of different songs. So this is a local song I created. Getting it to phonically say Hōʻike and Kauai was not easy to do. So there is some stuff that you got to do here to get it to speak it, and to find a good, like, actual singer. Like, I think I went through probably about 60 iterations to make this song, meaning I was prompting and then hit it, see what it came out with. But I did make this. So let's see if you guys can hear this still, and let me know what you think here.
On the shores of Kauai, where the waves gently play, Hōʻike Kauai shows us a way. From chatbots to AI, we embark on a ride, because AI is here to stay.
So I wanted to make it pretty short. I didn't want you sitting through like a whole big old long song. But no, thank you. Thank you so much. I worked so hard on it. But no, it's when you hear that quality though, like if you have headphones on and you listen to this, so that was Udio. You can hear things like some of the breaths and the voices at times. When the ukulele, like when they're playing ukulele, you can hear the actual strumming of the string, like almost like the fingernails of the strings, and then the occasional like almost mess up on the strings on like a up pull on the strings. So it's really insane when you actually listen to some of this stuff, how well they've got it. And then the production of it is really good sound quality. There's some things that they could work out for sure, but that's just a quick example of what can be done. And music generation. Thank you.
Man, that was terrific. Thank you. So, and boy, we're running the gamut. So, we saw some visual art and a lot of eyeballs. And then we saw we listened to some music that was generated. Thank you for that, Van. And so next I want to introduce, and he is awake the latest, so I'm sorry to leave you to the last, but Swallja is an artist based in New York City. I guess you can just say New York. He is a two-time Grammy nominated music producer and media artist based in New York. His work he has a really, really cool website. And I'm going to make sure that everyone gets a link to that. His work spans a diverse range of mediums, including 2D and 3D art, animation, AI, music, cryptographic puzzles, and games. And he's drawing from a rich tapestry of influences across the arts and technology. I want to say that something that Swallja said to me earlier yesterday, was it? I just want to build stuff. That really resonated with me. So I think AI is letting him build new stuff. Maybe
Definitely.
he couldn't have built.
Definitely.
And so Swallja, I'm going to turn to you.
Can you hear me?
All you. We can
Okay,
hear you
wouldn't be a
perfect.
Zoom call if I didn't start with, can you hear me? Maybe AI can fix that for us eventually. All right, so yeah, well, the whole reason why I touched AI to begin with was because I wanted a faster way to do things I wanted to do anyways. It wasn't like, hey, here's a new toy. I want to find ways to use it, which I do that with plenty of other things too. But what I liked about you said you had a demo of Chat GPT earlier, was that yeah, maybe I'll just give an example of like how I did the things that I wanted to do with it. Like for example, my I'll just share my website right here really quick, just because, and actually maybe I'll show my first GPT conversation with it. Can you see what I'm sharing right now? You're not gonna be able to read this probably. I'm hoping you could see it, but it starts with, hello, I want to build out my website. And I have a domain purchase. Here's what I have. Here's what I want to do. And it slowly was able to meet me where I wanted, where I was. So I didn't have to do a magical, like enter these commands the right way, or hit the slot perfectly with my questions or my prompting. All the way that I used it is basically just give it as much information as possible about me, where I am, and it was able to fill that gap back to me and say, hey, well, do you ever think about using this site for hosting? Okay. And I'm like, no, I haven't. I don't know how to do that. Oh, here's how you do it. Okay, there I am. Now, okay, I've done that. Now I want there to be a little, here, I'll share my screen one more time here. Like, I want there to be some interactive elements on my website. I wanted to be able, the users to be able to change the color. Oh, okay, here's some code and some CSS to be able to how to do that. Well, I don't know what that is. I don't know what CSS is. Can you explain it to me? Okay, here's the explanation of that. All right. When I mouse my little mouse over the things, I want them to flash and be able to expand. Okay, here's some code to be able to do that. And then I would take it, from my interactions here in ChatGPT, which I do believe I heard you said you saw before, and it was able to give me some code snippets to just sort of throw in. And then I was like, well, where do I put this code? Hey, try this tool.
Swallja, we can see it and it's awesome.
So great. So my main point is I started from zero coding knowledge or zero. I really didn't know how to do it at all. It was a monster to me. Like I know how to make records. I knew how to make some AI video things just from experimenting and stuff. And I just started saying the things that I wanted. And it's only getting better even from when I did that. And it's at the point where I was able to say, now I'm looking at this, which is the inside of my website, which has interactive 3D. It has games that I've built on it. It has, poetry that I've created on it. It's got my entire art catalog on it and all these things that I never even thought were going to be within reach not because I read some instructions on how to do it or anything, but because I just was not afraid to act dumb in front of a computer and let it tell me what to do. So I highly recommend just throwing spaghetti at the wall at this stuff right now. No matter what you're doing, no matter what it is, no matter what the tool, and just see what comes out, because they're all changing every week. They're all updating this. So you don't need to get locked in anything. Just kind of put it, I'd say put it out there. And eventually, we've heard about Midjourney. That's like a image generation tool, really cool. We heard about some of the we heard about some of the music and sound generation tools. I mean, you're taking my job, but that's fine. No, I'm just kidding. But I love that. I love that, by the way. There's nobody that should have an issue in any of that stuff. I think it's great. I always wanted to learn how to animate and stuff. So then there became some applications where they could apply motion to images, right? And I started to use one called Runway, which is here. I'll give you an example of it. This is your website. It had some nice image right on here of somebody talking to a robot. Let me know. Okay. So just while we were here on the call, I just took it and threw it into this app called Runway, which is an interesting tool. It takes an image and you can apply some motion to it. So I just said really quickly, explaining AI to a robot. I gave it no other prompts or anything. And it did this little 4-second video here. And it's just a little loop. And that's all that, for me, like, I could take that loop, I could generate it again, I could extend it out further. I could say, hey, I didn't like the way that his head turned. I could say, make it look more like a Stanley Kubrick film. I could say, make it look a lot like an anime film, and apply these stylizations to it in a way where I'm not scrolling through preset. It doesn't feel very technical. I could just sort of talk about it. If you have any experience in the traditional media tools, like has anybody heard of Photoshop, or like all the ones that we use now already? Okay, exactly. So a lot of times it's not going to be like they want you to stay in their ecosystem the whole time, but mostly what I'm doing is that little clip you saw that's only 4 seconds long. I'll do 10 of those, or that are 20 seconds long, or maybe 50 of them, and just kind of see what I got. And then just take that into a traditional media editing tool like Photoshop or Premiere or whatever it is, whatever you like, or right. And stitch it together that way. And then you use your strengths that you already have in collaboration with AI, which is just filling the gap of what you didn't have. And then the best part is is that since I'm new at Photoshop and Premiere and all those other things too, is that I can talk to the AI as if it's my assistant and say, hey, I'm screwing this up. Can you help me? You know, how do I make sure I don't lose the resolution when I'm outputting it, or these concerns that like a lot of digital artists may have these days. And then I'm like, well, thanks for helping me with that. Now I need to get it on my website. What's the best format I should do for my website, and these types of things. And then, you know, so I'm not really trying to talk mostly about the specifics of like how to do A, B, and Z, but just sort of like the mental framework that works for me for it. And usually it's like, just start doing something. You're going to come up with questions, and then just ask the questions, because it can handle that also. And that's like the new thing. That's the big new thing. Like it is like it just start doing stuff. Acknowledge. I literally would write when I was coding my website, I would say, talk to me like I'm 11 years old and this is my first computer. And it would remember that, you know what I mean? And I'd say stop, and then I'd say stop saying things like this. I already get that part. And then okay, it would remember that. Like it's like talking. It's like talking to the most friendly parent in the world that's not going to judge you, that knows everything, and you could just make all your mistakes and say, "I don't get that. I don't get that." It won't get mad at you. You know, that's been the biggest thing for me. It's not teaching me how to make music any more better or worse. It's just, you know, that's how I feel about it. I've used it to make some like short little animated vignettes, and because I've been able to do that, like here, because I've been able to do that, I've been able to take my music productions from my past and bring them to animations from today. And now I have a lot of my bands and stuff that I work with interested in my visual art, and I have a lot of visual art for friends that are interested in my music from the past. So it's been really nice to like bridge these worlds together into like overall media creation. And I definitely wouldn't be able to do it and then have a cohesive place like this website to do it without AI. It really did help me like get to where I wanted to be a lot faster. That's sort of what I had. I don't have a PowerPoint. I'm sorry. It's a little too late for that, but I do appreciate that.
Swallja, so I want to let you know that we're at a time where we had to take a break, but you did just kill. You did just slay.
Okay.
Like just so we're clear, you did just slay. Like all three of you did, really. Like you guys really killed it. So we're so happy to have had you. We're so grateful. This is 1:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. and 1:30 a.m. and fans on art. All right, guys. So we're gonna take a break here, and then we have to go to our workshop. This has been so awesome. I'm gonna be in touch with you guys tomorrow for sure. Thank you so much. Can we have a last round of applause?
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
I'm going to bed.
Bye.
Have fun.
Good night.
I'm going to have breakfast.
Okay, good.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Oh, man.
All right, guys. So while I figure out how to pause the recording, we're gonna take a break. And oh, I have two screens. Break and